Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wannabes podcast. We're here for your latest movie reviews, and today we're going to be diving into none other than Steven Spielberg's Disclosure Day, a movie I've been very excited about. But before we do that, we want to say thank you for joining us. And in case you're new here and you're not familiar with who we are your hosts. I am Morgan, and this is Dreaded. Thank you for joining us today, everybody. All right.
Let's do this thing.
Yeah, let's do this thing. So, guys, Disclosure Day, once again, is directed by Steven Spielberg, and it is, an hour. It's 145 minutes long, so you do the math. I cannot do math that fast. I'll be honest. I hated math. But anyway, let's talk about budget and box office. So, the budget for this film was honestly not surprising, 115 million. I could see it. I could see the budget being that, truthfully. But let's talk about box office. So, by May 29th, 2026, prior to the film's release in the United States and Canada, Box Office Pro actually projected an opening weekend of 40 to 50 million US dollars. So on June 10th, Deadline Hollywood projected an opening weekend of around 65 million worldwide. So a report by Puck estimated that Disclosure Day will need to cross the 300 million mark to actually break even specifically at the box office. So, what did it actually make, right? So, the film made 6.5 million during Thursday previews in the United States after making 19.1 million on Friday, and that is including the previews. It ended up debuting number 1 with 44 million from 3,824 screens at the domestic box office and an additional 49 million from 73 overseas markets for a worldwide total opening of 93 million. So it did end up breaking, the estimates. Just because I do have it listed here, something I don't normally get a statistic is 60% of moviegoers were 35 or older, and 48% of the gross coming from premium large formats. So it is also the highest opening for a Spielberg and Amblin Entertainment original title, not based on any previous IP. So yeah, that's pretty cool to hear. But as of today, as of June 24th, right now, or probably a little bit earlier this morning, truthfully, Disclosure Day has so far grossed 83.3 million in the United States and Canada and 86 million in other territories for a current worldwide total of 169.3 million. Now, I have heard it's not doing as well at box office as they wanted it to, but it is going against some really heavy contenders. Like we just had Toy Story 5 come out, and I know that has been a very large competitor for it since Toy Story 5 has released.
I forgot Toy Story 5 was out.
Yeah.
Well, look at that.
We've all
But
talked
for what?
about our little interest of Toy Story. Toy Story should be done.
Yeah. We're 2 films past. Why are we still doing this? But whatever. Well, I ain't here to talk about Toy Story. I'm here to talk about Disclosure Day.
Yeah. Do you want to give everybody a brief synopsis, or would you like me to?
I can try because I'm gonna be real with you.
It's up to you.
I'm
I have it
just
pulled up too if you need me to.
yeah. You go ahead because the best I can do because I was gonna go off the top of my head. I like to do that off the top of my head and yeah, trying to explain this film without because I went in not fully really knowing what I was getting into. I had an idea, but my God, I was still kind of blind. So
That's okay.
I'll let you handle
I
it.
avoided a lot of trailers for this as well because it was one of the movies I was very hyped for this year. But real quick, guys, this is an extraterrestrial sci-fi thriller movie, and Disclosure Day follows basically 3 primary characters racing to reveal an 80-year-old government conspiracy proving that aliens actually exist and have been secretly interacting with humanity since the 1947 Roswell incident. That is kind of as deep as I'm going to go into it, but the core plot is basically there's a guy named Daniel that goes on the run with a backpack full of hard drives and an alien device, attempting to expose the reality of non human intelligence before the midnight deadline strikes. Meanwhile, Margaret, who is played by Emily Blunt, we saw her in the trailers doing her weird alien clicking noises. Margaret finds her mind hijacked by an extraterrestrial entity that has taken the disguise of a local cardinal. So yeah, right now, I don't want to go deeper than that because I don't want us to Now, I don't want to spoil things off, right off the rip for you guys. Spoilers could happen. We're going to give you your warning now, and just know that that could happen. We'll do our best to
Mm.
avoid them too heavily, but they may happen to help explain some of our points.
Yeah, good luck with that. I'm gonna have to get into spoilers and really get into my
No,
review.
that's all right. I'm actually very, very excited. I am gonna come right off the rip. I'm gonna announce this right now, Dreaded. This is it. I know you're a little on the fence. This is in my top 3 movies of the year right now.
Well, that was quick. Look at that. All right. Well, now I know when we do the end of the year review where I can find Disclosure Day.
It may not be there. We don't know. The year is still
We're
medium
in the middle
young.
of it.
We still have
Well,
5 months. We'll see what happens, but I am curious about your thoughts and where you would like to start with this because I have a lot to say. So I'm gonna let you kind of take the wheel so I don't overtalk you.
that is fair. That is fair. Well, first things first, I'm actually not sure where I do want to start 100%.
Okay.
But maybe I'll start with this because it's something I noticed hardcore. Steven Spielberg's directing. It's there and it's strong, and
Yeah,
I still like it.
I agree with that. I
Steven
think
always
I'm.
has such a
I
whimsical
think
way of doing things.
yeah, I think I'm always gonna like Steven Spielberg's directing style. Like it is something that like do I enjoy all of his choices made? Not necessarily, but I think
But
he has a formula that really works for those stuff he works on.
there's always a whimsical feel to his films, and I always pick up on that, and
I
it's
agree with
nice.
you.
It kind of reminds me of my childhood, actually. Kind of makes me, happy to be watching movies again. Well, I wouldn't say I was
Yeah.
never unhappy watching them, but it brings a nice feel to watching a movie again.
Fair, fair.
So I'd say Steven's directing on this is good. You can definitely tell it's his work, and for the most part, he does it great. I think I just start having a problem with not the writing of the movie, the writing of some of the character choices.
See, I loved the cast,
I
and I'm
feel
very curious what you didn't like about the characters, just so
this
I
is
can
gonna.
gauge where
I'm
you're
gonna.
at.
I'm gonna try to explain this, but there are times when this movie does try to get a little goofy, right? Like a little silly. And the way they do that is with the characters and how they talk with each other and interact. And I feel like for me, there are times where the characters are still doing stuff that was happening in a silly moment. And I'm like, am I supposed to laugh at this? I'm just more annoyed. And it mostly actually comes from Emily Blunt, for the record, does a great job. Like her performance
So
in
good.
this film is phenomenal. It's just the character she's also portraying. I'm like, I know you're going through something, and there are times where you're valid, but sometimes, please shut up.
See, I actually don't agree with you. So firstly, I agree with the fact she was phenomenal. Like, there is a specific scene where she has a panic attack that is an amazing performance. Holy hell, her panic attack moment was amazing. Even with we have Josh O'Connor who helps her character work through it. I even love how he's able to get her to work through it. That whole scene was a really, really strong scene. But I actually feel like so okay. I want to reel in a little bit because I'm trying to find the best way to word this. For
Hmm.
me, I think these weird, silly interactions, they're quirky. They do make you
Hmm.
chuckle. And I had this conversation with my husband afterwards. There are, I think they help make this feel more real and realistic in a way because there's moments where, like between her and her, Margaret, who's played by Emily Blunt, and then we have her boyfriend, who we have in the film for a little while, who's played by Wyatt Russell. He Like, there's a couple moments where he's just like, "Okay, yeah, I got you," and then there's other things that's like, basically like, "Bitch, you fucking crazy," in a way, and
Yep.
like, there's, I can't remember the specific line, it literally has evaded my brain. I had it last night after the show, but I was like, "Yeah, honey, that's like a reaction you would do to me." Like, there was moments where I was like, "Yeah, I could see that actually being a way someone would physically react." Like, he was going with her for a little while, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Wait, like, I do think something's really mentally going on with her. I'm gonna step away, call the doctor." And like, I feel like that was something very realistic. Like that is a realistic response where you're kind of like, okay, I don't know what's going on. She's seeming like she's having a mental breakdown. We ran away from the hospital. Now we need to like, I don't know. I feel like I need to get her back on the right course. there was moments where like I really wanted for just because I'm talking about like that specific relationship, I hated him, but at the same time, I didn't because he felt very real. And I think a lot of
Mhm.
those other sillier interactions also felt really real because you have Emily, her character Margaret is like her mind's literally being hijacked. And like so you're having like part of her, she's also trying to understand these weird abilities she's all of a sudden able to do. All like so she's gathering a lot of information that makes a lot of sense to her, but then it doesn't make any sense to her at all. And like I really don't dislike the funny and the quirkiness that comes from that because I honestly could see someone actually reacting the same way she did.
That's fair. That is fair. I just couldn't get behind the kind of silliness of it to a degree because, for the most part, like I actually do like this. No, actually, I do like this story, and I think my one of the issues I have is I think it some of the silliness happened at times where I didn't want silliness because I was actually like invested, and then some of the quirkiness starts happening, and I'm like, am I supposed to laugh at this right now? Because I don't want to, and I'm kind of getting annoyed.
Hmm. I never felt that way.
That was a me thing. It's hard to kind of word. Like I kept thinking about it after the film, and I'm I get your point. I fully get where you're coming from,
Mhm.
but I still can't fully get there on what my issue is with why sometimes character choices just get on my nerves. Another thing that got on my nerves too. I know this movie is meant to be mysterious and a bit of a brain twister, yada yada, all that stuff.
It's a thriller.
But there was a lot of not talking about like someone say something, someone explain something. Damn it, it was getting a little irritating for me.
See, I that also again didn't bother me because I felt like we were put in a place where like we get to learn as the core basically we were almost like pseudo one of the two because there's two people affected by these aliens. They
Hmm.
don't really know what they know what's going on with them, but they also don't know what's going on with them, right? And I feel like we're almost like a pseudo third of them, like a third person. Like we learn as they learn. And I don't dislike that. It felt pretty immersive. And I think is probably what helped me make it feel more realistic to me because some of the ways they're reacting is kind of a way I want to react.
I get that as well, but I feel like for me it was just too
I didn't mind the
much.
mysterium behind it and the
I
mysteriousness. I
like
didn't mind that
like
at all.
I don't mind it either, but it kind of just gets to me when you do have characters who can literally start filling in someone on what's going on, and you're not. Which
Well,
okay,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, it's
who do
for the
you
journey, for the sake of the. Go ahead.
who would you want to fill in though? Because for a long period of the time, the only person who can actually really truly properly fill them in is Noah Scanlon, who's played by Colin Firth. But there's no way he would actually tip his hand and give out the information because he's trying to stop them from leaking this info.
It's not even him that like I get that, but sometimes I'm like Hugo Wakefield played by Coleman Domingo. Which, for the record, before I get into this, Coleman, you are such a great actor. But
He's so
every
good.
time you talked, I was scared because I kept hearing Joe Jackson.
Oh my
I was
goodness.
dead. And he talking I was like, "Are we chill? Okay, we chill." But every time, oh man, his performance as Joe has affected me. He's going in the list of probably great actors that everyone will hate now because he played a role so good.
See, I didn't necessarily mind Hugo not giving the information because I mean, part of it is he didn't want. You got to think about it strategically. It makes sense not to give all the info because of the capability that we have. Colin First character, what was his name? Noah. Noah had the
Mhm,
ability to jump into certain people's minds to get information. Like we saw that happen with Jane, who is Daniel's girlfriend.
mhm.
He forces that information out of her. Like he's almost has like this like control over them to gain this information. And I can understand Hugo not wanting to give all the information in case that was to happen, to help
That's
avoid
fair.
that sort of because he knows that this is in his hands and that he has tried doing this jump before.
That is fair. That is fair as well. I don't know. For me, I just felt like there was just a lot, and I mean a lot, just for me, of not saying like at least say something to lead them on. I don't. Oh God, I don't even know how to explain this, bro. I feel like I have to watch it again to really get a sense of what I want to say. But to dumb it down is you don't have to give all the information out, but stop being so cryptic, I guess, quote unquote. Or maybe even talk a little faster at a point, honestly.
See,
That's just me. This is hard to explain. Like it's a feeling. It's a feeling about this film that I can't shake, and I don't fully know how to explain it either.
I feel like on the opposite end of it, so I do have a feeling as well that I can't shake, but not in a bad way, in a very good way. That this I really really like this film, and I feel like the fact because obviously she works in the news, and
Mhm.
the whole story is getting the info out that we are not alone. And lo and behold, people, no surprise, I hope you wouldn't be surprised, they get that information out through the news. And that is like the climactic ending of this
Mhm.
movie. And with that being said, I think us giving that moment to like learn everything as everyone else is learning everything made that ending stronger than if we had all the information before. I think the ending would have been weaker.
Hmm.
Because like for me, like
Just
I left this with a very, and I told this to Dan immediately, and I immediately turned to him, and because like during the whole reveal sequence, I was like this literally the entire time because I am someone like I literally my day job is working in news. I produce news videos, and
mhm.
I have been trained in broadcasting, and it is a. I told Dan immediately, I was like, I feel like I have a very unique perspective of this that most people won't have, and or like I walked away being like, this was what news was meant to be for, and like because there's also a lot of other really subliminal, like really strong subliminal messaging throughout this entire
Mhm.
film. The messaging, like the deeper meanings behind things in this film was phenomenal, and I think even there's a larger thing to be taken away from the news and how they spread the information to how it should be for today.
I get you. I think the best way I can say about how to get my point across of why the kind of lack of explanation, not too much explanation, but just
Sure.
something to make it feel less like I need answers. Just trust me. Come here. Don't be late. Yada yada. Or very cryptic on what's going on and stuff like that. Comes down to maybe I just would have liked if the film was written differently. I mean, same premise, same outcome, same plot points, just maybe executed differently on, how things were being done, or at least said, actually. I think that's the best way I can say it. And I'll leave it at that. Because while I have a problem with um execution on how some things in this were handled, and maybe how some characters behave. Also, for the record, Daniel, you just met what's her face, Margaret, right? You
Yes.
guys held hands like I know you, I know you. Why the hell are you hesitating to get in that damn car? Get in the car! Come on, Nara. Come on. We don't have time to question. We got shit to do. I'm sorry, I just wanted to say that real quick. That got on my nerves as well. But for the most part, I do like this movie though. I like the plot. I like what's going on here. And it is quite thrilling, actually. And I never thought I'd say this too. This movie, I'm still not religious. My what I think God is completely different. Everything, but a scene with a nun, which I'm not scared of anymore, and Jane actually might have been my second favorite scene of the entire movie.
The phone call.
Yes.
Honestly, I love that because it's such a it's a really nice perspective to look at, and again, I think has some very beautiful subliminal messaging. Again, there like they talked about even moments where like that the aliens, like Hugo was explaining, that like they go off of empathy, and they believe empathy is our biggest strength, but we as humans are not empathetic enough, and that is causing our downfall. Insert here
Hmm.
like the wars and how, like discrimination and all the other things, right, that we do in our life, and that people subject other people to bullying and so on and so forth. Kind of like that whole thought of like if everybody just slowed down and took a moment to help each other and to be kind to one another, we'd be better for it. And that was a strong messaging in there. There's also because of basically a massive war's breaking out. Crazy timing.
Oh yeah, that's
um, but you see the entire world stop, even the men out
mm,
like on the front lines. They're
yeah.
they're all glued to this news dropping. And you see a moment every single person on that planet who's watching all have something in common. They all are in the same moment together, and like it just like I just love the look at humanity that this film gives us at many different moments, including that scene you're talking about. 'Cause it's also a very interesting and unique look at that as well, for that like religious aspect of it.
Yeah, because I was ready to say I don't think Jane is team good guy here actually anymore. And you know what? Thank goodness the film clarified because when what's his face Noah hijacks her brain, I wasn't 100% sure. Like, is he forcing her to say stuff or is she actually willingly saying stuff? Because they had that debate about whether it was the right idea to tell the world about aliens and everything. But that was cleared up. I was like, okay, thank you, thank God that was cleared up actually.
Yeah.
And then it was that phone call where I was like, yep, okay. Now I'm team you, and this was a great conversation in this
Hmm.
entire film. Actually, one of my favorite conversations in the entire film. Actually,
I loved it. It was such a good one. I'd like to insert that scene here to a couple of people that I know.
yeah. So there was that. Thrilling moments. I mean, it's pretty thrilling at points where some car chases and involves trains and stuff like that as well.
Heck
But for the
yeah.
most part, I'm just like intrigued with like, okay, what's going on? What's the mystery and stuff like that. And even if I wasn't always the biggest fan of how they kind of like how they were slowly revealing each aspect of the plot and everything like that, I was still invested. So I can't take that away from the movie.
See, I do, and I'm happy you say that because I will admit to people, and I said it even to one of my friends last night, was like, it's a little bit of a slow burn of a movie, but it's a good slow burn because no matter what, the entire time I was invested and ready to learn what's next and to see what happens. Like, never once did I feel like, man, this is pacing really slow for me. But for, for almost a 2.5 hour film, I could see people say, oh, this moves a little slow. And I'm not upset with how it paces. I actually really liked it because I feel like it gave us time to like sometimes like debate things in our own like in my own mind. I was like, well, maybe this is happening. And like I'm kind of like trying to create my own theories while watching it, which I
Hmm.
feel like some of the characters are also trying to do at times. Like, for example, looking at Jane. Like, I don't know. I liked that it took a slower pace because it gave us time to really like consume what they were giving us in each moment that they were giving it to us.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't mind the pacing actually too. I didn't expect a hardcore, fast-paced action flick, nothing like that.
Right.
I Again, I've made clear like what I kind of took some issue with, honestly. But again, no, this story was very invest worthy, actually, like that. And I do like a story like this, particularly when it comes down to Margaret just knowing shit and not knowing why. Especially concerning Daniel. And Daniel just I didn't see coming him understanding the gibberish he spoke on the news, actually, too. I was like, oh shit.
I know, that was
Oh shit.
exciting. I was like, "Damn." Well, that right there immediate because I was already like, because Hugo told him like, "I can't tell you everything yet, but you'll know. I need you to trust me." Immediately, like, "Is he an
Oh
alien?"
yeah.
I was like, "Is he alien offspring? Like, what is this?" Right? I'm like, I got alien vibes from Daniel now. And then when he could understand it, I was like, "Okay, confirmed alien something happening with Daniel." So
I'm glad you just said that actually what you said about I can't say everything, but just trust me. You know what? I think that's a good line to explain why all that kind of bothered me. Because it reminds me of one of my least favorite ways to tell a story with mystery or not telling characters, stuff like that. And you know what? Let me rephrase my complaint about it. It's not actually bad. I personally just don't like it because I've seen it done in so many different storylines and it gets so
yeah,
irritating. And I think the best example for me is God of War Ragnarok, which I'm like replaying right now actually too, because there is a
sorry.
point in the story where that is happening, and I'm just thinking like, someone just say something, please. God damn it! God damn it! You were going to save so much irritation, headaches, and anger in the wrong place if somebody just says at least this much. At least this much. You ain't got to say the whole picture. Just say at least this much, please. That's where I'm coming from with that argument,
Sure.
and that doesn't happen in this movie where it's like, oh, now we're leading to like conflict between the characters and anything like that. It's just annoying me. It's a me thing. Thank you for that,
And like
Morgan. Here,
and to be
have a
fair,
mule there. Have a mule there.
I don't disagree that that the, "Oh, I can't tell you everything, but just trust me," is annoying. I do agree with you. there could be better ways to do it, but I'm also not angry at it, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah,
they're
I get
also
it.
on burner phones. They're trying not to do long phone calls because they're trying to evade this not government agency, but works with the government agencies. That they have a lot of resources at their disposal. So I get it, if that makes sense.
Yep. Okay. So I feel like when it comes to you and me, we're on a page of we get where we're coming from because I get why you
Yeah,
like this and stuff,
yeah.
and I think you understand where I'm coming from and why I'm so annoyed with some of that, with a lot of that actually.
Hmm.
But yeah, so there is that.
See,
So
I'm gonna I'm gonna make a ballsy statement.
let's hear it.
I think Disclosure Day, maybe not quite, but is extremely close to the modern day Interstellar in terms of like awe and curiosity and figuring out everything that's going on. Also helps that it's still very sci-fi, very alien-esque. Different styles, like Interstellar is very much like interstellar space, where this is elements of interstellar space. So there are extreme. I still feel like, because like that I know Interstellar is a massive movie that like big film people, like film nerds as well as space nerds. It's a really big film for us. I feel like Disclosure Day, for the right people like myself, Disclosure Day is a close to Interstellar level film because of everything there is to unpack.
I'm going to take your word on that because I still to this day have never seen Interstellar.
Fair.
And if you know me, you know why? Because I don't love Christopher Nolan like that. Even though I do plan to watch the Odyssey, so don't worry about it. At least I don't
Mhm.
worry about that. At
I
least
do think you would like the storyline of Interstellar.
I'll give it a shot one day. You know what's funny too? Because this movie
You'll love
also
the
reminded me of a
music.
different movie too, and I do feel it's been a long time since I watched it,
I wonder if it's
but
okay.
I do you remember a movie called The Fourth Kind?
Hold on. I That sounds so familiar. Hold on.
It's another alien movie too,
Yeah,
except this is horror.
I'm pulling up the. So sometimes I just need to see the poster. Why is
Yeah.
it loading so slow? Oh, yes. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. There, I remember there was a plot point in the film about an owl that kept watching people who had possible encounters with the alien and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And I don't remember, because it's been a minute. I can't remember if the film actually explained the owl. But when I was watching this movie, because animals play a part in this actually too, and I was like, oh, hey, wait a minute. I wonder if, yeah. I mean, anyone could have seen that if you watched the Fourth Kind movie. I just don't remember if they actually explained it because the Fourth Kind really played with psychological horror actually too about
Sure.
what you think
Sure.
is real, what's not real, yada yada and stuff like that. And there were times where people said, I saw the owl. No, there is no owl. Like, okay. Like I see what's happening, but still.
Do
And I
you
saw this movie
remember?
and I'm like, but
No, please continue. Sorry. I don't want to interrupt you.
well, the point I'm making here is that this movie, even though it might have been obvious if I watched the Fourth Kind again, helped a plot element in the Fourth Kind, and it also makes me wonder. I wonder if that's like a common thing with the alien stories, actually, because I've only seen that twice now. Well, now I've seen it twice, so I wonder if I'm missing out on something.
Hmm. So, did you ever see the 1997 film Contact with like Jodie Foster and Matthew McConaughey and such?
I feel like I know what that is, but I don't think I actually saw that.
Google it real quick.
What's it called Encounter?
Contact.
Oh, Contact.
So, even Disclosure Day gives me elements, not like full on, oh, this is following Contact, but gives me elements of Contact, which was also a psychological drama, psychological thriller, sci-fi epic,
Mm-hmm.
and so on. So, again, that one's a little bit more like intergalactic, interstellar kind of space vibes comparatively
Mm-hmm.
to this one, just being more like here on Earth. But I mean, they're still here on Earth, but there's very much like it deals with like proof of extraterrestrial intelligence, and stuff like that. And I think there's a lot of like crossover of crossing over elements between the two as well.
I see, but holy snap! This cast: Jodie Foster, Matthew McConaughey, James Wood, John Hurt, William Fichtner, Angela Bassett's in this movie. Hell yeah!
Honestly,
Jay
such a good
Leno,
movie.
Larry King.
It is such a
Neat.
good movie. This is a very high sci-fi film for me.
Okay, well, that's at least we both get movies that this film reminds of us. Reminds us of. So okay. So while I've got actually that was pretty much all the issues I honestly took with the film for reals. Actually, for the most part, though, this
So,
movie
what
is
do you
good.
like about the film? What are your favorite
Well, like I
what's your favorite stuff?
Well, like I said, that conversation between Jane and the nun is one thing. Steven
Mhm.
Spielberg's whimsical directing is another thing. And I like the story. I genuinely do like the story, actually. Like, I'm invested in it,
I do
and I
too.
like where things be going and everything like that, too. And the characters perform great, even though it just annoys me, just someone say something at a point. But they still perform their roles really, really freaking good. Hell, like, I almost trust Coleman Domingo right now. I keep almost calling him Dingo. Okay, wait. This is the funniest shit I learned when I was doing some research after the movie.
Okay.
So this movie starts with a wrestling match.
Yes.
One of those damn wrestlers is Chavo Guerrero. Oh no way! I watch
That's
WWE,
awesome.
so I know who that man is.
That's
That's
fantastic.
hilarious. When the movie gets intense in places and stuff like that, people give their all. Um, I've seen criticism on the special effects on the animals, particularly, but I really don't care about that, Heike.
See, I didn't care.
Yeah, see, I'm
That did not bother me whatsoever. Because I've seen the same stuff. I'm like, you know what?
who
All
cares?
what matters the most is it went into the aliens. It went into their spaceships. I loved also the when we did the reveal, kind of like the found footage vibe, kind of like the Cloverfield ish bits of like
Mm,
the different major space elements. And another thing, like I said earlier, this film feels so real because of how they link things, whether it be the way that people react or they link literal like extraterrestrial moments that are major, like, moments for us crazy, like, alien space nerds like myself,
mhm.
and link it into this film in a way that makes sense and just feels natural and right. So, like, the biggest man, it's so hard to, like, just I wish I, like, recorded everything I said last night after immediately after the movie when talking with the people I saw it with, because this film my favorite thing about this film, right, genuinely, is how they oh, what how did I word it last night? Um, oh shit, I'm almost gonna call my husband and be like, "Do you remember what I said?" Um,
Guest appearance by
I
Sexy
feel like
Boy.
my favorite thing about this film is how they portrayed the story, how they gave it to us, how we were able to dissect it, and just the different meanings behind it, how real it felt for me. How or I guess not how real, but how realistic it felt.
Mhm,
Because like it's obviously not real, but there were so many elements that made it feel natural. Aside from me complaining that most uh major news stations, especially if you're over in Kansas near the just like Tornado Valley probably has more than one backup generator, but I digress. That is not a big enough thing for me to care about. It's fine.
mhm,
Um but I loved it cuz even afterwards cuz of me being in news, I was asked like is it realistic how they called New York? Like to have them pick up the feeds and to spread it further. 100% they were an affiliate. Like there's just so much from the news side of things to connecting things to the like literally things that have happened to us in major
mhm.
like historic moments in our real life to other moments. And I don't know. My favorite thing about this film is just how they gave me the story and how it was portrayed. How it was delivered, maybe is a better way of wording it.
I hear you. I get where you're coming from actually, because I think so. A lot of people have been giving Emily Blunt her flowers, and that is fair. But you
She
know
did
who I
great.
think actually genuinely has the best performance in this movie?
Tell
It is
me
that
who.
news anchor at the end. At the end of the movie, that news anchor's reaction is like, "Bro, that is so
She
real.
did
That is
really good.
so
The
real."
New York, the news
Yeah,
anchor for New York, absolutely. She did fantastic. And
like
and
acting
that's the
wise
thing
was
is,
great too. Just
yeah.
it's the tears that sell it. It's like
Well, you think about it,
I thought I
it
was
shows,
yeah.
and it shows a beautiful. One of my favorite things about her tears, right, is we got just a little while ago Hugo telling Noah they say our strongest part and our strongest ability for us as humans is empathy. And right there, she's watching this you not technically cleared for air, you're seeing the raw footage, you're seeing literally killed dead aliens. You're seeing their bodies being shoveled up, literally, and which gives me vibes of like the Holocaust when you see archival footage of moments of like that where you just feel like those emotions and your empathetic side really release and you have a physical, emotional, and mental reaction to them. And that's where her own empathy is being on display. And because she's breaking down to it, that means other people who are watching are also falling into her own empathy. And it just continues this stronger line of like being empathetic for others. So there's just, oh, this subliminal messaging in this movie was amazing. I love it.
And for that, I will say my favorite thing about this movie
Yes,
is the sci-fi like the sci-fi element of how their abilities actually work regarding
I agree. That
speaking
was
the
fun.
language and deciphering the language actually. And
I
also,
love that it's
it,
literally like mathematics.
yeah, that's I found that very fascinating. And I always have
Second
a
film this year to say that mathematics is the universal language because it also came up in Project Hail Mary
okay. First of all,
because
fuck
it is
math.
realistic. I don't like math. You guys heard me earlier say I'm not a math person. You get me into science math or like physics, I can do that shit.
I like movie math. That's what I'm gonna say. Okay, the kind that I don't actually have to really think about or even know. There we go. But that aspect of the film is actually probably my favorite part of it, actually, too.
I
Especially when it comes
love
down to Margaret just knowing, not necessarily about people by looking at them, even though I do like that because that's something I like working with certain
well,
psychic
and
powers.
that plays yeah. I'll get to
But
it. Go ahead.
yeah, well, for me, it's my favorite aspect of it is knowing, quote unquote, your other half is also in danger, and you just know actually. It's kind of it's moments like that that I've always liked in multiple areas of fiction when it comes to these kinds of things actually too.
Mhm.
Whether
I
it like you saw it in a dream or a vision and stuff like that, and it's like I don't even know who you are, but I got to do this, or I do know you are, but we haven't talked in so long, and like this stuff kind of thing. Like I
mhm.
always had a liking for those kinds of stories and moments.
So there is I loved in those moments like with her psychic abilities, even with using with Noah, so Colin first character, using the instrument, the like technology piece they have. I love the use of the eyes. How we know when
Mhm.
Colin's in control because his eyes take over Jane and
Oh
his
yeah.
eyes become Jane's. And even like when they're like really tapping in to learn their past that has been like blocked from them, for specifically Margaret and what was his name?
Daniel.
Daniel. Um like the just like the like gold in their eyes, like that is where your CG went to, everybody. That and the
Mhm.
aliens. Like you can stop complaining about your freaking like okay. I all I want to say is I am very okay with the animals looking the way they did because they say that is how they present themselves to them. They are not actually these creatures. They're not actually the deer or the bird, so it would make sense to me that they'd be slightly off to begin with.
Mhm.
It's like an image. They're giving an illusion, which plays into her whole Hansel and Gretel thing. Oh, the Hansel and Gretel house. They're
Oh
like, how did she
yeah.
get there? And I was like, literally. So realistically, my whole thing is like that is her subconscious trying to make sense of remembering things in her subconscious, right? And there's her and a young boy. That's Hansel and Gretel, their brother and sister. So like in her mind is like, oh, it's Hansel and Gretel because there's this boy and there's this young girl. And like they're going into this house. For her, it looked like a small inviting cottage because they're literally hiding and doing an image or an illusion for their UFO or spacecraft to lure them in to help literally do what they did to them so they could be kind of like almost in a funny way, not quite a messiah, but they had a lot of play of those kind of vibes, but like almost like the anchors between these aliens and the human race. Like they even said that like Daniel is so he can understand them and she so she can understand the humans and then together they can understand each other. And there's just so much to dissect on like why she thought certain ways because it dives into the like her psyche and how your subconscious tries to like give your brain answers to make sense of things. Then there's the whole people were like the cop randomly showing up at the end, right? And I explained to them, I was like, well, remember when we get to the one part with Hugo, one woman gets on her knees and literally does like the cross and everything to her, and she's like, nope, I don't want to be your religious figure, absolutely not. And you also see Jane talking to the nun, right, about like, or even saying to Daniel, like, how are people going to react when like we know of God and we have this higher being, when you then introduce to them another higher being than us? And there's just so many interesting, even religious elements in here. Because like people were looking at her, like Margaret, for example, even the cop, I believe, showed up because he looked at her as almost like this, you shouldn't know what you knew. So it felt very almost like a coming to God moment, or like a very spiritual, very Messiah like moment for these people that she also impacted and touched along the way. And and then that also plays back into the empathy. There's so many different things I could just go on a tangent about that I will not do, but there's so much that I was unpacking for this film, and that like all of these things that I'm like just sprinkling at you right now is comes up as to why I absolutely love this film.
You were such a fan.
Sorry, that was a lot of like jargon and just bleh, rambling.
Yeah.
That is how my brain was working last night, trying to explain to even to like my husband and a couple of friends we saw it with.
Who did you see it with other than Dan?
So it was Dan, our friend Shane, and then Michael.
Oh, Shannon. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, I'm not sure how to follow that.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I love this film. That's all I can say, guys. I really, really like this film. It is so good.
Not as also, I will say this too, and it's not even a big problem, but I was kind of hoping aliens didn't look like, small people with big heads with the big black eyes. I was hoping for that, not that, but we got that, but it's not even
I
a
mean,
big deal.
that's the standard,
Yeah, it is. No,
That's what's been
that's
leaked to
one of the
us.
two standards now.
That's what's been leaked to us, as a populace.
That is true. That is one of two standards. You either get big-headed, black-eyed aliens or Cloverfield monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? You know
what?
Why that probably is, though?
Why's that?
Because they both exist.
See, I'm waiting to see. I don't give a damn about the aliens. Listen. I want monsters. I want kaiju's.
I'm not gonna let us get there because I can go like alien conspiracy really, really hard. Where I probably will get good people, like a bunch of people on board with me in my agreement. Just saying, because I've done it before.
It ain't gonna take much to convince me. There's no way we can be alone. There's just no way.
But no, there, and that's what's fun is too. Like this film also made me like spark. Like, okay, Tyler, do not say comments like, aliens don't exist. It's just a movie. You're right. It's just a movie. But you know what? You know what?
Story.
I haven't quite go that far. But I disagree. I'm going to say it and going to be honest about it. I think aliens exist. And literally, the government a couple years back already came out and said, yeah, we have UFOs. We found UFOs, blah, blah, blah. So, meanwhile, my Excedrin bottle's fallen. But,
Hey. I'm still waiting to figure out kaiju's are real. I'll be a happy man. Brother. I don't care how dangerous and evil they are. I will be a happy man.
Don't you know?
Or at least some form of giant beings too.
We used to have them. We used to be a home for them.
Yeah, until meteors took out, the cool ones and everything like that. Which, I mean, I know living alongside them probably would have been hell, but I'm not necessarily saying, awesome.
Okay, Tyler, I'm not saying I just want, okay, you're saying that to, yeah, Dreaded probably does want to see Godzilla. But
that too. And I also do wish we could have lived alongside the greatest dinosaur that ever existed. Although they don't look like this, but still, I still like them. And we're gonna leave it at that. But if there was actually, a Godzilla as well, that'd be a religion I definitely follow in a heartbeat. So I'm just saying.
You need to
But not even...
You literally saying that right now, though. You need to go watch. Did you watch the anime I told you need to watch yet? This Sunsets to be Hero.
After I left that night,
hour-long pilot.
Yeah, I remember. I didn't get to it not because it was bad or nothing like that. I was just really tired, and I haven't gone back to it yet,
That
and
is
I
fair.
should because I did
Please go back to it.
start this other anime.
Anyway.
And also it's not also let me just say this too. It's not just kaiju that I want to be real too. Like other giant beings, even humanoid ones I wish were real too. You know, like Celestials and Galactus. That'd be awesome. I mean if they can eat our planet, that's one thing, but still, I have a love for giant things. It's starting to get very concerning.
All right, before we talk about all the giant things that you love and me getting on a tangent of alien conspiracy theories and me trying to convince you all that they're real, they are. Deal with it. You know what? Just saying. Do you have anything else to say, Dreaded?
Well, true. So we haven't. I don't know why I'd like this a lot too, actually. But I actually liked how Noah just gives up at the end by the time they try so hard this whole movie to stop this reveal. And by the time, Jane came in clutch with that device. I was like, oh yeah, she's got that. And then he's just like, damn, all right, fine. Although, another thing not actually a bad for the movie, but Hugo, that I know empathy is a big thing in this movie. But goddamn it, get your hand off Noah's shoulder after all the shit he done pulled. Like, hell nah. Fuck you. Hell nah. I've been looking at you like, uh-huh.
You know, Hugo just had to boss up like Hugo. I'm sorry, guys. That is an inside joke for us that we can't even explain. It's too much to explain. You're not supposed to. This is from our time when we were in school, guys. I'm sorry. I just had to kill him.
Hey, yo. I need water. I'm gonna water.
I didn't think it was gonna get you that good, but I'm happy it did.
That left my head finna start hurting. My bad, that was funny.
I'm sorry for the confusion, chat. It's an inside joke from when we went to school together.
Oh wait, I'm not laughing. This is the joke. Now I'm thinking about the actual reference now, and I'm laughing. Dog. Oh my god.
I'm literally tearing. Oh my god, you have to call Luke and tell him about this. I feel like he can only hear from you.
No, I'm clipping this. This has to be clipped. We gotta show the clip. Hey, yo.
I'm not sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
Okay, wait. Get it together. Come on.
Oof. I'm gonna take a drink.
Let me go get some water real quick.
Guys, I did not think I was gonna kill him that bad. Okay. Thank you, Tyler. Cheers. Thanks for the hydrate. Oh man.
Morgan, that might be the funniest. That might be that's in the top 5 of the funniest things that ever happened on this podcast since you hating rap music. Which isn't true, I know, but it was still funny as fuck.
I gotta say, I think that is specifically that's definitely up there in one of our tops for sure.
Oh no! I think I just laughed myself into a fucking headache.
gosh. Thank you again, Tyler, for the hydrate. We both definitely needed it. Hello, Latin. Right now, you're just seeing the skill of me killing Dreaded in the aftermath of it.
My bad. Stop laughing. Stop laughing. Look, okay, look. Disclosure Day is a good movie, okay? And you know what? You know what I actually really love right now? I love how much you love it. That's actually very whimsical too. I'm like, bro, Morgan is yapping so hard about all the subtle stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah, this movie's got her hard, and that is great. Okay, that is great. I love that. I love that for you.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
Look, I got my irritations with the movie, okay, and it's a me thing. It's personal, and it's just like one of my storytelling devices or elements. I'm like, okay, I don't like when stuff does this, but it's here. I don't always like it, but for the most part, the movie's good. Okay. So I just wanted to end with that. Okay. Everyone does a great job in this film. I didn't know John Williams did the music for it too. I was like, oh wow, John Williams did this.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, he's done so much work with Steven. It doesn't surprise me.
I ain't gonna lie. I didn't know he was still alive.
He's one of the. I will very much genuinely. He will be one of the composers that like hurt my soul when they pass.
John Williams is goated, but if I ever hear something happen to Bear McCreary, oh, I'm writing.
He's also fantastic though.
God, he might be my favorite composer for real. But yeah.
I'm sorry for killing you on the show.
No, bro, that's fine. That's fine. I did not.
It went on for so long. You're not gonna be able to clip it because the clip's only a minute. You're gonna have to like. You can for the initial, but that went on for so long.
Oh no!
Genuinely, I think that is our first ever laughing fit on the show.
It might be. I know we've had some great funny moments, whether you need like rap music, or I fall asleep on stream, or when I pop up from the middle of nowhere after I disappear and stuff like that. But you know what? I'm screen record. I'm going to YouTube, watching the live, and I'm screen recording.
I'm recording it. I can send you I can upload the record.
That's it. It's not good. You ain't gonna do all that. It's screen record is gonna be quick for me. Okay.
All right.
So okay. But
all right, so do we want to rate this? Oh,
before I stop, so back to that one more thing about that newscaster. I'm actually really happy that she teared up with the reactions too.
Yes,
because I don't know if other people do it, but I thought that was a me thing, and I was like, "What's wrong with me? Why do I tear up when big things like this happen?" And I'm super about and everything.
I was also emotional, so I mean, it's me, but you know, I loved it. She did great.
I remember.
I love the cracks in her voice when she's trying to talk. Like, so good.
Like, it dead ass reminded me. I think the first example I thought of when I saw Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness in the surprise trailer for Avatar Where the Water Dropped, and it had me like, oh, and I was like teary eyed because like Avatar is back. Like, okay, I know I'm not alone. I don't feel bad for doing that no more. Oh man, that shit was funny. That was so goddamn funny. Okay, let's rate the movie.
Okay.
And you're going first because
you need a breather.
No, because you love it. You love it.
I'm gonna be honest. So it is right up there with the highest rated movies of the year for me, and that is a 9.5. I loved this movie. There's so much to just consume, to think about, to mull over. That like I feel like it's a type of film. The more you think about it, the more you love it. For me, I love I think the actors did a phenomenal job. I love the slow. I don't want to really call it a slow burn because I never felt like it was slow for me, but I love the slower kind of like conspiracy thriller that we're getting with this, and how we're able to sit there and like kind of like theorize for ourselves when we have the time. It's not just go go go. We have the time to like try to be like, well, what's happening here? And there's just so much deep, beautiful, like subliminal messaging. I think that it adds into that moment of being able to just like dissect this film. And yeah, I go see it, go support this film because I absolutely loved it.
All right.
Also allowed me
So,
to do like the best joke to you ever.
stop thinking about it now. I'll laugh about it after. Okay, okay. Look, for me, I'm not gonna lie. I feel
Yeah.
like your review, your whimsical and your love of this, saved the movie from a 6.5. I'm giving it a 7.
Yes.
I'll give it a 7. I'll be a little
I
nicer to it.
convinced him 0.5, guys. I can convince you about aliens.
I was already convinced. I don't, don't
Not
get me
not
wrong.
you, but chat.
Oh, okay.
I'm
But
looking at you,
yeah,
Tyler.
I think the movie's good. It's good. It's good. It's a good, solid flick. Not one of my favorites, but I don't hate it. I got some stuff that annoy me about it. That's just a personal thing for me.
Sure.
But
Sure.
for the most part, though, this is good. I like the mystery. I like the story. The performances do great, and I like the whimsical feeling that Steven Spielberg can still give me.
Fair.
So
Very fair.
yeah,
All right, everybody. This is our movie review
okay.
of Steven Spielberg's Disclosure Day, as well as I think the first ever laughing fit of our show. So thank you so much for joining us. If you can, go to your local theater, support your local theater. If you can catch Disclosure Day, go catch it because it's generally a really good film. But before Dreaded dies again on air, we're gonna say good night here. Thank you for joining us. You can catch us next week at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday. We'll be live with another movie. So make sure you follow us on our socials so you know
Of
what we're going
course.
to be reviewing. We're going to be reviewing, or sorry, you can find our socials. Find us anywhere on Facebook, Twitter, or X, Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads, LinkedIn. The list goes on. So please follow us over there so you can find out what we're going to be reviewing. But for now, everybody, have a fantastic night. We will see you next week. But next time, don't forget the popcorn.
If you forget the popcorn, you're gonna get abducted by aliens, and it's not gonna be pleasant.
Have a good night, everybody.
Later.